No more Christmas trees. So we're going to do a tool review right after this. I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Build up for your sanity. This is the shack. Hello and welcome back to the shack. My deepest apologies to Huepar. This video should have came out around the first week or so of December 2023. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, I had a couple of my tree designs. I'll put links to videos I did up here. I had about 5 different varieties of trees. 2 did exceptionally well. Because of that, I had to spend more time trying to keep up with the demand. I'm still having Christmas in January because I'm still receiving some of the decorations, some of the little mini bulbs, little fairy lights, stuff like that, to finish up some of these trees. I have about probably 25 to 30 of various models of trees that I have to finish up, and I'll put in storage for December 2024. So I'm still finishing up what I couldn't complete in 2023 to sell. So I'm gonna get these completed, put them in storage so I have a jump start on Christmas 2024. So Huepar, please forgive me. I am very, very sorry for the massive delay in this. So what we're going to be reviewing today is this. This is a Huepar P04CG 16 line 4 laser level. I did a review, put a link to that video up there, of a Dovo laser. First one I ever used, got that one. Still really didn't know a lot about the lasers. It was decent, but it wasn't what I was hoping it to be. And I actually had to buy a few additional items just to get that kit to where I was comfortable with it. This comes with everything you're going to need and more. So let me readjust the camera. I'm going to open this up and show you exactly what all is included in this kit. Comes in this nice hard plastic case, a definite must-have when you buy a laser level because the instrument itself is somewhat delicate. The prisms inside, you don't want to mess the laser prisms up. You want a kit that comes in a good hard case. And there you have it. Let me slide this here a little bit, I'll move it over. I'll pull out all the little things. Of course, you have your owner's manual. Definitely want to check that out, read through it. Let's see. This is nice, very handy little gadget. They call it a telescoping pole. I don't know because to me, it's like a scissors lift. Okay? So I'm calling it scissor lift or just a lift. You have a target. I'll talk a little more on that later. I'm not a big fan of these. They're all getting them from the same vendor. You have this steel plate. You can mount the lift to this via magnets in the lift. USB adapter plug. Of course, you have your USB to Type-C cord. The only thing negative I can say about this kit, 1 battery. In my personal opinion, believe every kit needs 2 batteries. You want a backup. So if you don't remember to charge this every single time, you're going to screw yourself somewhere down the line. Every kit needs 2 batteries. I'm just saying that. Remote control, major benefit having that. There you go. You have this very fluid adjustable lifting base. They call it a base, lifting base, just your base. You mount your laser to this. And of course, you have your laser itself. That is your kit complete. Just want to go over this stuff real quick, give you kind of an idea. This is your target. When you get to a distance, sometimes it's hard to see green laser, especially if it's bright or outside. This will help you find your laser beam and kind of adjust things where you need to be, and that's what they call a target. The problem is with this, I have the same one, and I do mean the same one. I think every laser manufacturer doesn't matter the brand name. They're all getting this from the same vendor. They're cheap. You see right here, you know that? Right there. That little leg, that's what you pop out to set your target down on the ground with, or you can use the magnet and set it on something magnetic here. I had an issue with this with the other laser level. When I went to set this side on my garage door, hoping to have enough magnetism or whatever it is to hold this onto my door, it didn't. It started to slide down. So I went to grab it. When I went to grab it, it slipped about 2 feet from my hand to the ground. It hit right there on this, which broke it off right back here. They are only held in here by those like 2 little nipples in here that snap into holes here. Sheared them right off. But I think they could put like a rod, metal rod through here all the way through. It would solve that issue in a heartbeat. It's very, very simple solution. Make these holes all the way through on the leg and the target itself. Slide your pin in there, boom, done. It won't break. That is faulty. That is an accident waiting to happen. It's just a matter of time before you drop that and break that leg off. So the next thing I'll talk about is the scissor lift, or they call it telescoping, but to me, the better description would be a scissor lift. The height of this is 1 inch. So the lowest it will drop to is 1 inch. When this is fully extended, it's 3 1/8 of an inch high. So you have 2 1/8 inches of travel. So you got maximum of 3 1/8, a minimum of 1 inch. If you only need your laser 1 inch 2 off the ground, you're either going to have to mess around with a piece of wood, some cardboard, something, whatever, to shim it to the right height. These run about $10 to $20 depending on the model and what other little adjustments you can get on this. But it's not an added expense, it's included in this kit. Really handy little thing to have. Comes with a metal mount. That's for your adjustable lift. Has 3 magnets on the back. You mount that to the wall, that holds your base. If you got a metal beam, metal studs, you can use that and mount directly to them. Next thing we'll talk about is the battery. Unfortunately, 1. And I am a big believer, these need 2 batteries. Doesn't matter the brand. If you're in the Milwaukee or DeWalt ecosystem, you don't have to worry about batteries because you have enough to run your other tools. You can swap them out for your laser. This, and even the other one, you're not in that ecosystem, you need 2 batteries. This is a 2.6 amp hour battery. It has a 7-hour runtime, meaning you only get 7 hours, you only get a full day if you're running all 4 beams. You cut that down and run 2 beams, which probably be at least 50–60% of the time. You can get 14 hours. Not that you go run all 4, but if you don't remember to charge this every single time you use it, you're going to forget, you're going to get on a job, and you're not going to have a battery. You're going to have to run a cord, find something, and plug the laser directly. That's why I say I'd rather have 2 batteries. That is like necessary in my mind. You have to have 2 batteries, regardless of the brand. One thing I like, and I absolutely love, remote control. To me, even though this may be able to be used via your smartphone with an app, I'm not the one to keep yanking my phone out on the job. My phone is in the pouch of my tool belt, and if the phone rings, I look, see who it is. If it's nothing important, nothing job related, I don't answer it unless it's family. I'm not on my phone all the time like everybody else. I'm working. When I'm working, I don't want to be bothered. So I don't want to be yanking my phone out of my tool belt every time I need to turn a light on, turn it off or something. This will either be on a lanyard hanging around my neck or just in my tool belt. That I absolutely love, and I don't think you should have any kit without it, because this makes it so convenient. You don't have to keep walking back to your laser to shut it off or something, or turn another line on or turn it off or whatever. Boom, boom, with the remote, done. 2 batteries and remote, in my mind, after using these now and getting a little more familiar with the lasers, that is a priority. Gotta have those. Before I get into this, we'll get into this. This is the Huepar lifting base. You set your laser on here. and now you've taken that laser from a stationary to a completely new realm. This thing can adjust so many ways. This is your infinite macro adjusting tool. I don't know what else to say about it. I love this. I actually purchased just the Huepar base for my other laser. It took that laser to the next level. It took it to a place it could never reach prior. It definitely needs this. Once you mount your laser here, you can either have this on the ground, on a tripod, on a wall, wherever you decide to mount it. It can adjust in so many ways. Every green knob on here is an adjusting knob. The base here, just in and out, left to right, swivels, and it also adjusts up and down for your horizontal. First knob here moves it in and out. You got left to right movement. That's the front button here. It goes left, it goes right, or my right, your left. And also, depending on which way you have it set, if you need to turn it one way or the other, left or right, this one pivots this. This top up here, you see where it's moving, it's going to your left now, my right. Turn it back the other way, it brings it back to center and over to the right, my left. This will pivot 360 degrees. You can sit there and just spin this around all day if you want. The last adjustment is your horizontal. You can move this up and down. When you get to the spot you want, I would put my finger in there to hold it so it doesn't move on me. Hold it there, turn this outer knob backwards, and it locks it in. And I push on this, it won't move. If I get on it, grab like this and push hard, it sounds like gear stripping. It starts ratcheting almost. You don't want to do that. I was just seeing how much pressure I can apply before it starts to move. It takes a lot of pressure. As I showed earlier, you can mount this to any metal surface. This is a nice option. You have the choice of a 1/4-20 or 5/8. 5/8 is more for your bigger heavy duty tripods, either with a watermelon style camera, big video camera, or mainly like a surveyor's tripod, a little heavier duty. But it's nice you have the option. The other laser I had didn't have that option, and that's why I ended up having to buy one of these. Not this one. The one I purchased was a more robust, little heavier duty lift versus this one. But coming out of the kit with this, major upgrade compared to the other laser kit. Last but not least, the tool itself. This is a 16-line laser level. Each laser produces a line 360-degree radius. One is projected to the floor, so that's one line. You got one that projects upwards to the ceiling, that's another line. When it projects widthwise, left to right, you got a wall here, that's two more lines. So you have 4 lines because it's ceiling, floor, wall to wall. 4 lines, 4 lasers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 line, 4 laser level. They consider each surface separate. Makes no sense to me, but that's how they're doing it. You have your controls over here. Down here, right next to your power switch, there's USB-C. I can plug that in there. But when I turn the power on, there you go. So you can run this via USB-C without the battery in it. And on your battery, you have the USB-C charge right there. Lift it up, plug it in. This is like an orange yellow. Factory out of the box, when I first charged it, took about a half hour to 45 minutes. They say give yourself 3 hours. I just left it all night, it didn't matter, but I noticed it was already green within about an hour. So I just left it all night just to make sure. When you plug it in, right here, right there, is your 4 bars. Yeah, 4 bars. They light up when the battery's plugged in, and I don't know if it's 1 bar or 2 bars, but when the battery goes down to 15%, this flashes letting you know you're getting low. There's one thing I like about the battery being here versus some, and like my other laser, the battery's down here. Well, when you put it on a tripod, guess what? You have to take this off to change the battery out if it's down there. This one, the battery's in, all I have to do is kind of hold it here because I don't want to jar it too much. I don't want to lose my adjustments. Push it in, pull it out, get the other one holding it, because you don't want to jar too much. Put my hand underneath there and squeeze and close it and insert the new battery, turn it on, and you've not lost any adjustment. To me, they have to have the battery placed properly so it doesn't interfere with this being mounted on a tripod. Plug that in, we'll turn it on, and I'll show you the functions real quick just so you can see. The power button here, turn it all the way on. See how it jiggles a little bit? Okay, it settles, takes a second, maybe 2 seconds, it's level, it's done. Before I go any further, if this isn't setting within 3 degrees of being level, you set it on the tripod, tripod's off a little, it will let you know. See, I am over 3 degrees out of level. Now if I bring it down just a little, you see here, I'm still a good 1/8 of an inch off, but it's level there. I go up any higher, it's out of level. Put it back down, it's level, done. If you're on a job and you need to angle that line, what you do, 1 click back locks it, and you can tilt this now any angle you need, and now you can make sure that your banister, your stair casing, whatever, will follow that all the way up and be perfect. So it's back on. We'll do the, oops, I know, I gotta sit up here so I can see where I'm at. Okay, first one button is the 2 horizontal beams, top and bottom. Bottom one off, top one on. Click it again. Bottom one on, top one off. Third click, both of them off. One more click and you're back to both of them. Next one up, let me turn it this way, I'll turn it on and off. Click it, beams off. Any beams off. Click it, beams on. Front and side are independent. Top and bottom work off the same button. Move my finger up one more. Now the third button up works the front one here. Off, on. And watch the crosshairs here. Get the crosshairs right there. The very front button is the pulse. It pulses. Since we have this on, I'll show you how the remote works with this. On the side right here of the remote, there is a rubber flap. Open that up. There's a USB-C port right there. Plug it in. The power switch will be red. When it is fully charged, it will be green. To turn it on, you press and hold that button and it will turn green. On. Now it only has vertical and horizontal, so the 2 vertical beams will be operated via 1 button, just like the horizontal beams work off of 1 button on the tool itself. You have the upper and lower on. 1 click, the bottom one is off, top one is on. Another click, top one goes off, bottom one comes on. Third click, they are both off. 1 more click, they both come on. I'll turn this here. So the vertical button, you click it once. Side laser is off, front laser is on. 1 more click, side laser comes on, front laser goes off. Third click, both front and side lasers are off. 1 more click, and they're both back on again. Pulse, same thing as on the tool. 1 click, everything pulses 3 times and done. So let's just say you shut that off, you do something, you forget you have not shut this off yet. So you go to grab it, and you go to move it. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn it off. So you don't want these prisms in here floating around. You're going to damage them. You want to lock it before you put it in the box for transportation. So like, oh, that's a good reminder. Click it off. Now I'm good. Everything's locked in. The prisms won't be damaged, and we're good to go. And if you forget about your remote, you see it's flashing. It's telling you this is off. The remote is still on. So I go press and hold, and it shuts off. I got this on my camera so you can see it there, and on GoPro so I can show you over here. So I know if you can't see it on the GoPro, so I'll be switching back and forth, but you see the crosshairs on my door back in my shop. That's 30 feet away. And what I'll do here is I'm turning it. You can see it going left to right. Now it's going to the left. So let's just say, we have it there and I got to get it right on the edge of my door beam, of the beam of my garage opening. See, I can move it to that side and get it right on that edge, and that's dang really, really close. That is nice up and down right there. That's very plumb. Move it to the other side and I get it right to the edge of that 2x4. And you see how I lose it there? Kind of disappears because it's right in the crack. Bring it a little more left, and right there it appears on the very edge of that 2x6. Macro adjustment, and you see I'm adjusting it here. So there you have it, the quick overview of all the accessories included in this Huepar's P04CG laser level kit. Last thing I want to do is give you some of the things that I have learned from my first experience with the laser level, and some things I would consider if I was in the market to purchase a laser level. These are some of the things I would tell you to look for depending on what your needs are, whether you would need them or not. Now, my first laser level, one thing I learned from that immediately upon first use was battery placement. On that particular laser, the battery is on the bottom. So if I had it mounted to my tripod, basically have to take it off, switch out the battery, put it back on, hopefully get everything lined up again. It was just a pain. So having the battery accessible without having to remove it from the tripod. The next item I want to talk about is the lift, whatever lift comes in the kit that you're looking at. My first laser kit was basically trash. I took that mount out, put the laser on it, went to put it onto my tripod, and I had to go back, look in the box, looking all over, thinking there's got to be an adapter for this. No, there's not. The bottom of that particular laser lift only has a 5/8 11 thread. Couldn't even use that lift until I went out and purchased this. This is a 5/8 11 thread adapter to a 1/4 20. Screw that into the laser lift so I could screw it onto my tripod. That was an added expense. That was $8 to $10 right there. Plus shipping, because I just bought the one thing, I needed it. Once I got that, I put that on, put it on my tripod, and I very quickly learned that it was absolute trash. There was no macro adjusting ability. I had to pick up the tripod, just kind of slide it a little bit, set it down, let it settle, and basically hold the laser, kick the legs of the tripod with my foot to kind of macro adjust it over till I got on my mark. It only had 2 planes to adjust. It had a very minimal movement of in and out, and it had the horizontal adjustment. And that was it. The in and out, you literally would hold on to your laser. When you put your laser on there, you have a knob, you turn it on and tighten your laser on. You have to hold the laser, grab that knob, unloosen it, try to macro adjust that in or out. Or if you needed to pan it one way or the other, you could loosen it and pan it, wait a minute, let it settle, make sure you're on the mark or not. And if it was on your mark, hold it, tighten it a little bit, praying that you don't move it at all. Take your hand off, and if it's off, it's, damn, got to grab it, loosen it, move it again. I mean, serious. This wasn't a headache, it was a stinking migraine. After that experience, even though I purchased this to allow that to be adaptable to my tripod, I said, the heck with this. I got online, found me a Huepar lift and purchased that. I needed that adjusting, that macro adjusting ability that the other kit, there was no macro adjusting that lift. It was just worthless. That lift actually has the ability for either 5/8 11 or 1/4 20, which the other one should have had. How stupid they were not to even incorporate that, or at least give you an adapter. Last benefit is having a remote, and I'm telling you what, that is almost like reinventing the wheel. What a benefit it is to have a remote. The only negative I can say about this kit, I am a huge believer, every kit, no matter the brand name, needs 2 batteries. Last thing I want to do is battery go out and I have to run a cord, taking that chance, someone tripping, catching, whatever, and plugging this in. I don't want it. I want a second battery to keep everybody away from it, keep it hands-free. Last thing I will touch on is the laser light itself. There are some out there that have a brighter beam. Be warned, you will pay a lot more money for it. This is a standard beam. It is 66 feet visibility, I think, about 30 meters, and that's about average through all lasers. This is a 55 by 30 shop. When I showed you the demonstration how the macro adjustment worked with the laser lift, I had it sitting on my bandsaw right there. From that point to the wall, I think was 30 feet. You can see how bright it was there. It was just as bright here on this wall. It's about the same, almost center. And I could see the horizontal beam all the way through around the whole shop. The beam was sufficient in my shop. I see it top to bottom, side to side, all the way around. There was no place that it was too light. I couldn't see it. It was fine all the way around. So if you're not going to have anything like a 3 million square foot warehouse, you need to see all the way to the other end, you're going to have to get in the industrial size. But for general use, DIY, home improvement, weekend stuff, this will definitely meet any need you will have. Give Huepar a look. I don't think you will be disappointed. Again, my only negative, I would like 2 batteries. We are done. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Take back your shot. Nailed it for your sanity. 2024 is going to be strange. Be prepared. Be aware. Things aren't getting cheaper. Money's getting tighter. So when you make that decision, make the best possible decision for your money. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next video.